when President Donald Trump signed an immigration enforcement executive order during his first week in office. He titled it Enhancing Public Safety in the Interior of the United States. But new deportation rules released Tuesday by the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, make clear that the Trump administration's approach to immigration enforcement will do anything but enhance public safety. Instead, by eliminating the idea that enforcement resources should be focused on the highest priorities, attempting to drive a wedge between local law enforcement agencies and the communities they are sworn to protect, and conducting enforcement actions at sensitive locations such as churches and courthouses, the administration has adopted an approach that places mass deportation, not public safety, at the top of its agenda. In 2014, the DHS, under then-Secretary Jeh Johnson, published guidance identifying the top immigration enforcement priorities for department personnel. At the top of the list were threats to national security, border security, and public safety. This guidance built upon and refined policies adopted earlier in the Barack Obama administration, which, in turn, built upon policies adopted during the George W. Bush administration, as well as policies dating as far back as 1976. While not perfect, those policies largely worked. The share of people deported from the interior of the country who were previously convicted of a crime increased from 51% in 2009 to more than 90% in 2016. Dozens of police chiefs and sheriffs around the country and the major cities chiefs association have long maintained that when local police are viewed as extensions of federal immigration authorities, which is what Trump's immigration orders aim to do, communication and cooperation between law enforcement and local communities disappear and crime thrives. For police, it pays to keep an eye on the primary mission of smart policing. In fact, a study released in January found that crime is statistically significantly lower in U.S. counties that limit whether and under what circumstances law enforcement will hold people in custody for immigration authorities beyond their release date in the absence of probable cause or a warrant. A 2008 study examining Maricopa County, Arizona, similarly concluded that as former Sheriff Joe Arpaio diverted resources away from bread-and-butter law enforcement work and toward enforcing federal immigration laws, violent crime rates soared and the sheriff's department was thrown into a financial crisis. Perhaps the administration has officially rescinded these policies, or perhaps officers in the field are intuiting that they are now allowed to break the rules with impunity. Either way, communities will suffer as a result. Trump has been using immigrants as political props and bogeymen since the day he announced his intention to run for president. By regularly, and falsely, demonizing immigrants as dangerous criminals who prey upon the American public, Trump has attempted to lay the foundation for his argument that mass deportation will enhance public safety. But in reality, the policies Trump and his administration are pursuing will squander limited enforcement resources, spread fear throughout immigrant communities and undermine trust in local law enforcement, and harm the most vulnerable Americans. These policies will not make us safer, and they will certainly not make us great.